You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother... What we do here is go back.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another live chat with me and Jessi. I'm Steven Jensen. That's Jessi Davin. Point this direction. Welcome, everybody.
No, I was wrong. Oh my god.
Over there. Your finger keeps disappearing. We're going to be here talking about Cain Velasquez reportedly being released by the WWE. We're going to be talking WWE 2K Battlegrounds, the video game that was recently announced, and we're going to be talking the Revival, aka the Revolt, aka FTR, whatever you want to call them. Their appearance somewhat on Being the Elite. We'll talk about that plus much more. Before we get into all that, how are you doing today, Jessi?
I'm tired. I'm super tired. Did not sleep much last night. That's about it.
Yeah,
How are you?
tired as well. Like physically tired. Shout out to my brother Brian Jensen. We talk about him on the podcast all the time. He's one of the sponsors of the show here with Steel Boxing and Athletics out of Atlanta, Georgia. But they've been letting people back in their gym now here in Georgia. Some of the businesses have kind of opened on. They're kind of open on like a limited basis. They're kind of letting like one person in, one person out at a time kind of thing. But yeah, I went in there yesterday and did some boxing for the first time in a few weeks. So I'm pretty sore, but it's like in a good way. I'm glad I was able to get out and move around because I was telling you before the stream, like even seeing myself on camera, like certain like angles and stuff right now, I'm like, I need to hit the gym. Like I'm doing way too much sitting around and just pigging out on like way too good of food lately, just sitting around doing nothing. So it's been
Good crock pot dishes.
What's that?
Good crock pot dishes.
Yeah, we've been doing a lot of crock pot. Last night we did we did some chicken with chicken, mushrooms, and onions and rice, and did like I don't know if you know about yum yum sauce, like the pink.
Yes, I know about yum yum sauce.
So we just made a bunch of chicken, mushrooms, onions, and rice, and just covered it in yum yum sauce, like almost like hibachi style, and just pigged out on that last night. So, but yeah, I saw we already got a super chat, by the way. I just now.
Yeah.
If you want to read that out, Jessi.
Yes, thank you, Steven. Steven's been a good dude to me, always been super supportive of me, so thank you for that. I really appreciate it. He said Cain was terrible, just terrible. They didn't really do much with him in WWE, did they?
No, and I agree, and thank you, Steven. By the way, your Bailey action figure should be there by the end of the week. I know I've told you that a few times. There have been, just so you know, dude, there have been multiple times that I went up to the post office, and because of the crazy times we're living in, I went up there, and 3 different times I went up and no one was working. Like 2 of the times was during their lunch break, which like that's kind of on me for like going around the same time twice. But then the other time was not during the lunch break, but I think they only have one person working in there, so like if he's not there or he's busy or he's gotta like hit the bathroom or something like that, I must be just going at the wrong time. But you will be getting that action figure, that Bailey figure. I've been promising you definitely soon. So anyways, thank you, Stephen, for the super chat today, and also to talk about Cain Velasquez. Yeah, it's interesting because obviously I cover MMA like.
That's why I want to hear your opinion on this. I really want to hear what you have to say.
Yeah.
So
So here's the thing. As far as his MMA career goes, if I was him, I wouldn't fight anymore. So I think him moving to pro wrestling was a smart thing. Now it's smart and not smart at the same time for the same exact reason. Like his body's pretty broken down, and that's what led to kind of the demise of his UFC career. He just couldn't stay healthy, and then the fights that he was having, he basically came out of like every fight for his last few fights with like serious injuries, usually to his knees, and he came into WWE clearly with a knee injury. Like he was wearing big knee brace and all that stuff. So it's like the WWE, I think, knew he was hurt coming into it. I'd imagine in any kind of like legitimate physicals, like they would have known he was hurt coming into it. But he did really, really well in AAA when he was wrestling with them. He was doing like the lucha type moves, hurricane ranas, and springboarding off the ropes and all this kind of stuff. And when they brought him to the WWE, well, here's the first mistake. I think the first mistake he made was not signing with AEW, because he did get an offer from AEW and he turned it down for the WWE, which I thought was a terrible mistake, because, especially in hindsight, because AEW could have laid claim to, Oh yeah, you watch WWE. That's cool. Brock Lesnar is like their biggest thing ever.
That's so
Chip.
true.
And yeah, we have the guy who knocked him the fuck out.
That is such a good point.
They missed the boat there huge. Instead they went with the Cain versus Brock match in Saudi Arabia for the WWE, and I think that whole thing was a complete joke. And everything about that match was a joke. Like
Yeah.
the fact that Brock Lesnar finished Cain Velasquez with a Kimura, like he submitted with a Kimura, is so ass backwards from how like a real fight between them, like because they did fight for real.
Yeah.
Cain destroyed
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And Brock's no, I mean he uses the Kimura in the WWE because of his like because he has the experience in the UFC, but he wasn't going out there and like Kimura hitting people with Kimuras like double wrist
Yeah.
in the UFC. He did finish one person with a head and arm choke, Shane Carwin, but for the most part, it's not like Brock Lesnar's this like submission expert, and so the whole was really weird with him and Kane. They tried to make it look like a shoot style fight, like they were like
But it wasn't.
kicks and stuff. It it didn't. Anyway, it didn't do much for me. I know a lot of people in the MMA community like laughed at it. Like most people who saw that in the MMA world thought it was hilariously bad. And this is all to say, so what was the point, WWE? So the whole point of having Cain Velasquez was to bring him in, have him job to Brock Lesnar in one match for the WWE title, and I believe he's out with injury, and that's why he hasn't been on TV much. And they knew he was injured coming into it. And he's probably even more injured because he was working on his injured knee. So, I mean, I guess I don't know what they expected out of him. I don't know what we expected as fans, but if this is all we get from Cain Velasquez in the WWE is this one match, basically to stroke Brock's ego, like, see, yeah, I can beat him too. It's like, I don't. It was a big
I don't get it either.
for everybody.
Yeah, and Corey Williams, thank you so much for the super chat. He says, I don't believe he was given a chance and he was pushed to the forefront too fast. I can agree with that. I think that obviously him and Brock Lesnar had that history. And I think, wasn't it like the premiere episode of SmackDown on Fox that he appeared at the very end with like Rey Mysterio or something?
Yeah.
So I feel like it was just like a talking point for Fox to be like, oh, look, we're legit. And then it just kind of, I feel like it would have been much better if they like kind of, because we all knew it was leading to Brock Lesnar. It would have been better for them to kind of inch their way towards Brock Lesnar. But I can see why they didn't go that route and they just went straight to, Brock versus Kane again in a weird fever dream of a match that was just bizarre. And I completely agree with you, though. I think AEW would have been a much better fit, especially if he was in AAA. Like, that would have been so much better. They would have easily... The thing about AEW is I feel like they're much more, flexible and fluid with their ability to sign people and work with people that have different styles and be like, all right, so you've got this style, this person has this style, we're going to work with you. We're going to take the best attributes that you have as a professional wrestler and use them, and we're not going to make you conform to some some style that we have and that we've written a rule book on or whatever, And I feel like it was just weird. It was like it was a fever dream of a match. It was strange. I'm completely not shocked at all that he was released. I was wondering when they were going to do that. I don't know. Did they release Tyson Fury too, or was that just kind of like a part-time, one-time thing?
That's a good question. I think it was just a one-time thing, whereas Kane was actually signed to a multi-year deal.
Oh, okay. And then I don't know if this is total bullshit, so I may be talking about out of my ass, but my husband said that he saw on the investors call that Vince McMahon said that Brock Lesnar was no longer with the company.
Yeah, I saw stuff about that as well. I don't know.
I feel like that's a big deal.
It is a big deal, but it would also make a lot of sense for the WWE not to really, because I don't know what his contract looked like before. He
Me either.
ran up at WrestleMania, for all I know. So
Yeah.
he just hasn't re-signed. And I doubt they just outright fired him, unless they were just really really just looking to because I don't know what his contract looks like, but I'd imagine a lot of it's guaranteed money, like whether he's there or not. So like if he got fired, he
Yeah.
gets paid either way. But
That's so true.
so he
I know he wanted to take time off anyway and go back to Saskatchewan and hunt bear or whatever. Like,
now's the time for WWE to make a move like that too. Like if I was them, I wouldn't re-sign him right now either, considering like they're trying to save money and he's incredibly expensive for like
yeah, $12 million. Are you kidding me?
right. Well, and also
Some-
what's interesting is that UFC is still intending on running like they're trying to come back on May 9th and run 3 shows in 8 days and like they're gonna be like up and running full force here soon again and. I guarantee you this always happens. Brock will tease some sort of UFC return during this time, and he'll get Vince McMahon all worried that he's going to lose him, and then the WWE is going to pay him a ton of money again, just to try to get him to stay.
Can you imagine if the Khans just said fuck it and signed Brock Lesnar?
I would absolutely love that if
Oh my
it was
god!
correctly. If it was done correctly, that would be insane. If it all led to like I don't know, like Kenny Omega or someone like that, like getting a big win over him or something, that could be cool.
To me, and I may get shit for this, to me that would be like CM Punk. That would be the equivalent of like a CM Punk return to the WWE at this point.
Yeah. Oh, and
Like
good
on that
question.
level of shock and internet breakability.
Good question from Gel or Gel. I always forget. He asked if they released Gronk, which that would make a lot of sense too. I don't know why he would still be like he's signed to an NFL team, like he costs money, like he's not signed for free. So I don't know why you would keep him if you're the WWE.
Yeah, I don't know why you would keep. Well, he's a 24/7 champion. Oh my god, he was on a live stream with Barstool Sports, like doing TikTok dances with I guess his wife. And he's like wearing the championship belt. So he's balls to the wall with this 24, which it's fine. I don't really have a problem with it other than the fact that he's part of an active NFL roster. But I mean, I'm looking for Brock Lesnar's contract.
The other weird
I don't
thing
see
with Kane also, because like they dropped the ball so much with him, the WWE. Jamanda Devi, we see in the chat. Hello, thank you for joining.
My goodness.
It was so weird too with Kane because it was like for whatever reason they thought that it would help Kane. Like, let's put it this way: it made no sense that it was like Cain Velasquez is Rey Mysterio's son's godfather or whatever. Yeah, we're all related. Like I've always Cain Velasquez has always had my back. It's like, wait, since when does Rey Mysterio and Cain Velasquez like have anything to do with each other than being Hispanic? Like other than that.
Exactly. I was saying, other than a Hispanic last name.
Yeah.
Like, and then didn't they like try to make it seem like he didn't speak Spanish or something, or he spoke Spanish but he actually speaks English?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
He like took Spanish.
Yeah, his Spanish
He took Spanish.
just isn't great.
It was a really interesting story. Like he learned Spanish while like in the UFC or something.
I don't know. I mean,
like,
he's from Arizona or something. It's not like he's Mexican American. Like he's not like. I mean, I don't think Spanish was his first language. I think he knows it, but I did hear that he doesn't speak it very well. And also,
yeah.
There's something else about Kane. Yeah, but also his English, which is English is fine, but his promos in WWE fucking sucked. Like
Yeah.
terrible on the microphone. So I don't know. The whole experiment was a bust. As far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, it really started with him trying to like speak Spanish in his promos. Didn't they like try and do that? Like Rey Mysterio was like translating for him or something. Like it just. That's what I feel like. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Look at Rey Mysterio. He's so smart, but like, it just didn't work, especially in front of a live audience. like maybe now it might work, but like in front of everyone's like, all right, get to the point. Like, all right, come on, we get it. Like, and then the people that actually know who Cain Velasquez is are like, this guy speaks really good English. What are we doing? Like, it was just so weird. They, it felt very out of touch by WWE.
Well, and it was surprising. Like when he debuted, I think way less people knew who he was than what they expected. Like the
Yeah, yeah. I feel like they were expecting a sports crossover from being on Fox, like a greater crossover than they got. Like, had they brought in someone from like the NFL or like, which I'm not saying they should have, but like, had they brought in a bigger sports, but when you bring in like a UFC fighter, it's like, I don't know. It's a big market, obviously, but it's a very still kind of like niche market,
well,
and it's not like
it
he's
used
not
to.
super mainstream.
Well, but it was also it was on Fox for like 7 years, the UFC. So like
Oh well.
you would think because they're on ESPN now, but like they were on Fox for a long time. Like Cain Velasquez was the first ever. He main evented the first ever show that they ever did on Fox and stuff. So like I think in Fox is
How long ago was that though?
a long time. Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
a long time ago. But that's what I'm saying is I think in their minds and like the WWE and Fox's mind, they're like, oh yeah, Cain Velasquez is like our guy. Like people think about the UFC on Fox, they're thinking Cain Velasquez. Like, but that's also like just how out of touch. Like Vince McMahon, like I went back and watched more of that Vince McMahon promo with Triple H
Mhm.
SmackDown last week. That dude, he looks like he just lost it. Like he just lost it all. Like his mind is gone,
Yeah,
and body's gone.
it's
He
strange.
he just doesn't look good anymore. Like he's and that's where the ideas from the company are coming from. It's like it's too bad.
Yeah, that's the buck stops here kind of thing, you know? And it's well, I saw that it actually like went over, like it wasn't supposed to be that long, and like I didn't know. I don't think Vince was like even supposed. I don't know. I heard Vince wasn't even supposed to come out or something, and there was just too much time left, and he was just, which even makes it more interesting if that is truly the case. Like he just said fuck it and just decided to like go out there and just start talking and rambling.
Yeah.
Um, but it was very strange, and I like it worried me because he did seem kind of, he seemed stressed. He seemed really stressed. That's like, I'm trying to put it nicely. Like, and it made me worried as like a WWE fan. And I know JGZ16 in the chat said his time to step aside is pretty much here. Um, I can agree. I think that while I think he should be like a board member, so to speak, like be on the board, be there to like oversee, but not have complete total control, which I don't think will ever happen. And I'm not wishing death on him at all. Those people that wish death on Vince
Sure.
McMahon to me are like really weird and creepy, and that's kind of unhealthy behavior. Because whether we like it or not, Vince McMahon created such an empire and a powerful company that I feel that I should be grateful for that, and not wish death upon him. I can be critical of him, especially in his overripe age. Overripe. That sounds so mean. Like he's over the hill.
He's
Um,
old.
I
He's
feel
like
like
70 something.
he's like, yeah, he's up there. He's high risk right now. Um, so I just feel like it is kind of his time to perhaps start allowing others to have power and input. I mean, you look at what Triple H is doing on NXT. Like, my God, it's great. And then you see all these people from NXT being called up and going to the main roster and just completely fizzling out. It's like that's kind of like the disconnect that I feel there is, um, that there shouldn't be, and I feel like that is on Vince.
Yeah. Mad Dad said foil walls like Better Call Saul coming soon for Vince. I don't know if you get that reference or not, but
Yes,
yeah, like his brother Chuck. I know exactly what you're talking about. That would be really
the Electric
if it ever
City.
got to something like that. But I get the reference. Um,
Good show.
yeah, very good show. Um, yeah, I've said this before, maybe on the stream. I'm not sure, but the analogy or kind of scenario I give for Vince, like the situation that everyone's in with Vince McMahon right now, is it's a really sad thing when you really think about it, but it's for everybody involved because it's like, how do you tell God he doesn't have it anymore? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How do you like this guy? He didn't create professional wrestling, but he created like the version of professional wrestling that's like what all professional wrestling basically is now and became. Like he's like the god of like sports entertainment, basically. So
Yeah, that's what WWE claims to be.
so this guy is like his ideas for years and years and years and years. You know, he basically dictated like, oh, I'm doing this, and like the fans love it, and the fans keep coming, and they're buying tickets, blah blah, blah, and everything I'm doing is like has created this gigantic empire that like just like on the level of like worldwide fame is like McDonald's and Disney and all those guys, and WWE is like synonymous with wrestling and blah blah blah, and now like imagine being like Triple H or Stephanie or whoever else, and like having to like just to walk up to him and be like, you don't like how do you explain that to him? Like you don't understand. Like I know you created all of this. Like this is all you, but like you don't know what is good anymore within your own creation. Like you don't get it anymore. Like how
Yeah.
conversation. And that's where I think a lot of the issue is. Like I don't think anybody's sitting him down like a group of almost like an intervention and being like, I'm so sorry to have to break this to you, but like the ratings are down. It's all obvious. The shows aren't good. Like and you can go through like all this list and be like, when you were firing at all cylinders, it was all here. But now we're like way down here, and we have people in place that can get us back up here. You just have to kind of step to the side a little bit and let them do their thing. But how do you know what I mean? I just
Yeah.
taking that step back.
How do you have that intervention? And I feel like while Vince McMahon does still have it, like he still has an oomph every now and again. Is our stream still working? Because I've got a little loady thing on my thing. What's happening?
I think it is. At least
I think it's. Are we still live? I'm just making sure because my computer's slow as hell. I don't know. Let me look. I guess we're fine. I don't know.
looks fine.
I'm just making sure. It does? Okay.
Now I'm getting the loading. Now I'm getting the oh no, I was getting the loading and then it went away.
Okay, there we go. All right. We're good. Okay, sorry. We just want to make sure we weren't going to talk about stuff without the loading thing. Anyways, I feel like every once in a while he does kind of give you that twist, that Vince McMahon magic twist that we get. I can't really remember the last time he did that, but I feel like the only way that would really happen would be pressure from investors. I feel like if all the investors got together and were like, listen, we're going to pressure Vince McMahon to step down, or at least divide power. This sounds like a government. Like, it sounds like I'm talking about a country. I
mean, you might as well be talking about a religion, like honestly.
Yeah, I mean, it is. Some people take it extremely seriously, and that's, I mean, this is, people have been watching almost their entire lives for, longer. A ton. There's a vast majority of WWE have been watching for longer than they haven't been watching. Like they started when they were like 10 and now they're 40 or whatever, or 55, since that seems to be the key demographic there. I'm echoing again.
Yeah. Please let me know if the echo goes away. I've been seeing that and hitting the buttons while I see it. So.
Oh, okay, cool. You're kind of getting it. Awesome. But yeah, I think for me, I feel like he sees like the revenue going up and up and up and up and up and up, and he's like, well, I must be doing something right. Like, my God, pal, I've been doing this for years, been doing this for longer than you've been alive. Half my investors have been alive, and look at my company, it's billions and billions of dollars, and I'm the one that's done this, and blah blah blah. And it's like, well, the reason your revenue is up so much is because you're like going to Saudi Arabia. You're making $500 million there. Boom, cash money. And Vince really doesn't give a shit about social media, I don't feel like. And so he doesn't really see like that kind of reaction, and I don't really think he cares. But and of course, like I said, I don't want anything to happen to Vince McMahon. I don't want him to, that's why I was like worried when I saw him there. I was like, oh my God, no, go home and be safe. Like, while I think he should step down, I feel like he should still absolutely have input and oversight in WWE. I don't feel like he should be running every single show. But what would he do? What would he?
Well,
I don't think he's ever had free time.
Was gonna be the XFL, I think.
Yeah, insert XFL joke here we just saw in the chat. And then Mad Dad said, wrestling is the never-ending story. He should write out his departure on air. Didn't he try to do that?
Yeah, he tried to blow himself up in the limo, and then the
thing
happened for real. And then
maybe that's why he's scared to like go away. He's scared something bad's gonna happen again. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, but think about that. That was like, I want to say like 2007, which is like
It was 2007.
13 years ago.
7?
It was whatever, like 13 years ago or whatever. Like, and Vince Vince then felt like he was already like too old to be on screen. That was 13 years ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
don't know.
Like,
yeah, I feel like I don't know, man. Like, yeah, and then Raven Styles 06 says, but how much input and oversight? That's the thing. He could say, "Oh, I'm going to step down," or he hired Paul Heyman, and Bruce Pritchard was Eric Bischoff, but he wasn't doing anything to kind of oversee SmackDown and Fox because he was going to go run the XFL. And then look what happened. He's still got the final say. It's just kind of an illusion. He's not really allowing these people to really run the show. Everything has to go through him.
Right.
And maybe have a test run. What's the worst that could happen? I shouldn't say that. Really shouldn't have said that. It's out there now, though. It's okay. We're going to be fine. Just give it a test run. And if it fizzles out and there's a wet fart, then pick back up and say, all right, I was right. But it's like, prove us wrong. Prove all of us internet marks, all of us stupid fans that we're wrong, and prove that you're the only one that can do the job. Prove us wrong. You're a type A guy. You're Vince. You have lots of power. You like having power. Show us how much power you truly have and how much we need your power, bro. Vince is like Jerry Jones. I bet they're buddies.
Probably.
Oh my God, they're like the same person.
Raven Styles also mentioned Paul London got fired. Yeah, Paul London got fired for laughing during or smiling or whatever it was during Vince blowing himself up thing.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah. I've always been a big fan of his. I like Paul London a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was one of the first indie guys I ever discovered. Like,
really?
Yeah. Back in the early 2000s, he was one of the first guys where I was like, ooh, this guy's insanely good. I saw his Shooting Star Press for the first time and I was like, ooh, it's way better than how Kidman does it. I'm a big Kidman mark. So ooh, that's way better than Kidman's. And then he wound up getting signed to the WWE. Had an okay run there, tag team titles, cruiserweight, stuff like that. But I actually met him outside of a show it was probably around the same time as all the stuff we're talking about now, years ago, and he was cool. He signed my ticket stub, I think. But
oh, that's great.
He signed everything. Every person who was out there, this is in the parking lot after Raw. There was probably 50, 60 people standing out there, and he literally took the time to talk to every single person who was out there and stuff for him. Really, really good guy. So definitely.
It's great.
Yeah, because the opposite was Randy Orton came by and a little kid. This whole big crowd, and this little kid's like, "Hey Randy, can I get your autograph?" How you it's the classic kid and the
little kid
at the football game where he's like, "Hey, can I get your jersey?" And they're like, "Here you go, kid." Where Randy Orton walks by and the kid's like, "Hey Randy, can I get your autograph?" And he goes down to his level face to face and he goes, "No," and just walked away.
That's so good though. That's such a heel thing. I love it.
Yeah,
that's great.
Didn't sign anything for anyone. And then
did the kid cry?
What's that?
kid cry?
I can't remember. I know for sure he was very upset, and like the crowd like booed at him basically for doing it. And then I
Oh.
remember, just I'll never forget this. That same night, like Jeff Hardy walked by, and everyone was going nuts, and he just kind of like you could tell he was like doing whatever he was doing. He like walked by like hey, and like walked past everyone, and then he got in a car with Umaga, and the two of them were feuding on TV, but like leaving in the same car. And I'll never forget this woman standing out there with us, and she was like, "Oh hell no! Are your friends?" And I was like, "Oh,
Uh-oh.
she thinks it's real." Like
Oh
she was
no.
so upset that Umaga and Jeff Hardy were actually friends in real life, but she had watched them wrestle on the show earlier. She felt so betrayed. It was so funny.
Oh my God. Speaking of breaking kayfabe, last night during the Becky Lynch like vignette thing, they were showing after her win at WrestleMania when she became Becky Two Belts. She's like hugging Seth Rollins, like making out with him or whatever. And in the background, Nia Jax is hugging and comforting Ronda Rousey.
I saw that.
I was like, we showing that? What? Is it a work? What
It's
happened?
interesting. It's
So that was
interesting.
really interesting.
I will say this: most of because I feel like I'm getting worked a lot of the time by the things Nia's doing. Like I really do, and
Me too.
and I it I don't know if it's just them being nice or what it is, but almost every time I hear like one of her peers talking about her, like candidly, they're like they all love her. Like all the people
Yeah.
you would expect to be like fuck this woman for like going out here and hurting everyone. They're always like, no, she's the sweetest. Like,
Yeah.
so
I mean, she reminds me a lot of my not the fact that she's like reckless or whatever, like none of that, like unsafe worker, but like just like her demeanor outside of WWE, like if you've seen like on Total Divas or like Snapchat or not Snapchat, what is it, Instagram or whatever. She reminds me a lot of like me and my like her and Alexa Bliss remind me of me and my best friend in high school. Like she seems pretty cool and chill. Like and that's why I'm always like, I wonder if it is like we're just a really big work because like maybe Kyrie Sane is just a really good worker and like made it really look like her head hit that middle turnbuckle or whatever. Like maybe we're supposed to believe that. Like maybe Becky really went into that punch and was gonna get her face broken anyway. Like I don't know. I
that
think it's
one
making me.
was yeah, that was too real.
That was too real. I think that was completely the beginning of all that. But like now it's like making me question like this whole thing. And like then you add like Ronda Rousey being like fuck these fans, turning a heel on like what Steve-O's podcast, which I didn't know happened, like existed. Um but like it's just like we are so being worked. And you know, when I get worked really good, I just got to give them props. Obviously, I'm not to the point where I'm going to get full props yet, but it's making me go back and forth. And I'm like, okay, we'll see. But that little Easter egg there was really interesting.
Well, what it's doing also for me, there's all this Nia stuff, is like last night she wrestled. Well, she was supposed to wrestle Asuka. I guess it was like her and Asuka, and I think maybe Shayna wound up fighting all each other. Can't remember.
Oh,
But,
Sheena got wrecked.
well, I think at one point Nia like shoved Asuka, like she like shoved her on
Yeah,
that side, and her head like
she sold it.
and part of what this whole Nia Jax thing is doing to me, which maybe this is exactly what the WWE is wanting out of this whole thing, is like now every time she does something like that, I'm pretty quick to be like, oh, is that real? Like, did she actually just,
Yeah.
it could have been 1,000,000% safe move, but because Nia's doing it, I'm like, oh, there's that extra like risk factor with her doing it, but maybe it's almost. I've heard Chris Jericho talk about like years and years ago. He like to make a long story short, he had Batista beat him with a clothesline in one match. Like Batista hit him with a clothesline, and it looked
Oh my god.
out cold, and they made it look like it was like a botch or like he had actually been knocked out clean, like everything. So Jericho, at the time, everyone thought Jericho had just been hit with a stiff shot and got knocked out with the clothesline, and the match ended and like it shouldn't have. And years later, Jericho was talking about how the reason they did that was because now Batista was at this credibility level where, like, oh, a clothesline could knock you out if like it's like a believable thing now, like that.
Yeah.
I just hit you with a clothesline and that could be the end of the match, and I think that's a good thing for like wrestling psychology, like when you can keep the fans like invested like that. Like there's certain moves that I see, like Roman Reigns for instance, every time he hits a Superman punch and he goes for a cover, I never expect it to finish a match because it never does. But if every now and then, because even like Baron Corbin, good example with the deep six, he finishes people with that every now and then. So,
but the end of days is the one that I'm like, oh shit, it's over.
Well, the end of days has been incredibly protected. Which is awesome. But my point is that like, it's believable to me when I see him hit a deep six on someone and go for a cover, that could be the end of the match. Whereas when I said Roman Reigns hit a Superman punch, like there's nothing about me that's like, oh, he's gonna get the 3 count, because he never does off that move.
No.
What else we got in the chat? If you want to pick anything, talk about, or topics.
Yeah, we had did you see the Battlegrounds video game preview trailer thing?
Yeah.
What'd you think?
I mean, it looks interesting. I don't really know. It's weird. It's weird when you see like the opening clip is The Rock throwing John Cena into like a crocodile's mouth.
Right?
So
what?
So it's kind of
threw me off.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it'll be fun. What I have been saying for a long time is they need to do something about the WWE video game series, because it's been the 2K has been really stagnant for the last handful of years. So, I don't think that this necessarily like will replace the 2K series, but at least it's something different. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, here's my thing. Okay, so we all knew that they were canceling 2K21, because 2K20 was absolute shit. All right, so we knew that. So we knew they were going to come out. They had this big announcement. All right. And I mean, this is what we got. And I was like, you know what? Like, I made a video about it. And, obviously I understand people are going to be upset, because I know that the 2K series means a lot to some people. And I know that a lot of people, do a very good Let's Plays. And it's a career for some people. So it's very, very important to them. And I completely respect that. And I completely respect anyone's opinion about this regardless, because to me, it's irrelevant. It does not affect me in any aspect of my life. But it's like I see people complaining that it wasn't what they wanted. Like they wanted like they said it looks like All Stars, but they wanted something different. And I'm like, listen, all right. It's literally just a placeholder to say we're sorry. Like that's how I feel. It's a placeholder. It's not meant to be something special. It looks like it's going to be like a mobile game or something. Like, does it look like a mobile game to you?
It looks like that, yeah. What I will say is there is a game, I believe they're calling it Retromania Wrestling. It's like this sequel to Retromania Wrestling. I'll pull it up on Twitter. There's a game coming out in June that looks incredible, and it's like kind of bringing it back to like the old school, like kind of wrestling looking, and I think that that's going to be a big success, and it's going to be available on all platforms. So I would hope Battlegrounds would be available kind of on all platforms, but I really don't know. It does look like a mobile game, but maybe it's a platform.
And I don't know how much. I don't feel like we actually saw any gameplay. I feel like we saw those kind of cutaways. I don't feel like we saw any actual like footage of what it's going to look like to play the game. I feel like it's going to be one of those what's it called? Tap and plays?
Yeah, which if that's the case, I'm not going to play it. I'm not into Not into those games at all.
Yeah, me either. And but like I just didn't have a problem with it, and I thought it was really funny how the graphics actually look better than the 2K20 graphics. Like the
Yeah.
faces look actually way more realistic. Like I don't know. I just thought it was it's just a game. I know it's not what people wanted or expected, but would you rather have like a glitch fest? Oh, that looks fun as hell.
Yeah, doesn't this look like a cool game?
That reminds me of Mike Tyson. The Mike Tyson knockout
Oh,
game.
Punch Out, yeah.
Yeah, Punch Out.
This guy's a good
That looks
game
fun.
reviewer, by the way. RGT,
Yeah.
him on YouTube before. Um, he's got Stevie Richards in his intro for his YouTube videos, so that's kind of cool.
Yes.
But yeah, this they got so many people in this. Like it's got like a bunch of indie wrestlers and
That's
it's
fine.
awesome. Yeah,
That looks fine.
I wonder if they have a website that has like the roster. This looks so sick. I think it's
That looks
free
great.
also. I could be wrong. It might not be free, but I'm gonna definitely get it for the Nintendo Switch. Probably the Xbox also, but definitely the Switch.
Probably microtransactions, I would assume. Maybe.
Look at this: Hawk, Animal, Tommy Dreamer, Nick Aldis, Cole Cabana, Johnny Retro,
Whoa!
John Morrison, Zack Sabre Jr., Austin Idol, Big Stevie Cool, Blue Meanie, Hollywood Notes. They have the whole BWO. Warhorse, fucking love that.
What?
Yeah, it's sick as fuck.
Wow.
Jeff Cobb.
That looks
Um,
great. That
and
was
I
so
and
much
there was way
fun.
more. There's way more that aren't even listed. Yeah, you got the Road
Yeah, they got
Warriors.
reveals. Yeah. Oh yeah, look, Switch, PlayStation, Xbox, and PC.
Hell yeah. But yeah, this game looks fucking awesome. So even if the 2K Battlegrounds game isn't for me, that game I believe comes out in June. That Retromania Wrestling, and I'm looking forward to that. I don't know, the 2K series has been really, really weak in the last few years. So if people want to complain about them not having a game, a 2K21 game, then like just play. I mean, they're all the same at this point. Play WWE 2K17. It'll be pretty much the same.
Yeah.
Which it's all the same. It's like Madden. They just update the roster.
Dude, oh my god, do not get me started on Madden. I get so mad at that. I get so mad at Madden. Like, haven't bought it in years. Like, because it's literally just the same fucking game. And it's gotten way too fucking complicated. I want to be able to press X and not have to, like, press it really hard or press it really soft. Like, bitch, I just want to play football. Like, I'm not gonna, like, I don't want to act, like, if you're gonna make me control the pressure on the button, then I might as well just go out in my fucking backyard and start tackling bitches. Like, for real. Like, come on. Let's be real here. And,
There
like,
was a. Did you ever play Madden back in like? There was one version of Madden that made you use a quarterback cone. You know what I'm talking about?
yes!
Yeah, it was like a.
Shit.
So yeah, and they got rid of that concept after one season. After one,
Because it was too fucking complicated.
yeah, you could only it was like a vision cone for the quarterback where you had like a triangle of space where like you had to move instead of just like hitting a button and it went to like X or Y or whatever. You had to like literally like turn that direction and like see the vision.
Yeah.
The quarterback was looking.
I don't need to like visualize the pocket and shit like that. Like this it was just so annoying. It like fucked with me so bad. Oh, I'm a
Mad
Madden
Dad.
streamer. Oh, Mad Dad, yes.
Yeah, nice. Where do you stream? Do you stream on Twitch or YouTube or Mixer? Where you stream at?
Mixer. It's Ninja.
Ninja and Shroud. Yeah, that's a real. I follow that world very closely. That
I love Angry Joe.
I actually don't even know who that is.
You don't know who Angry Joe is? He does those angry reviews on YouTube. Holy crap.
Yeah, I don't know about him. I know about the angry video
Oh,
game nerd. I've been watching him forever.
what about Boogie?
I know who he is. I don't. So by the time I knew about him, he was already like plagued with controversy and stuff. Like by the time I knew who he was, like he was like losing subscribers like by the thousands, and I was like, "What's up with this guy?" Then I found out he was like lying to his fans or something like that. Something.
Yeah.
So
Well, I think
I never got into Boogie.
yeah, Boogie is very susceptible to trolling, and
Yeah,
I feel like he tries to be good,
I always
but
got
his whole
a lot of subscribers.
yeah, he did like the whole Francis thing, like Francis rants, where he like
That's
smashed
right.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he had to kind of like go away from Francis because Francis wasn't very ad revenue friendly. He streams on Twitch.
Nice.
Mad Dad streams on Twitch. Nice. Yes. Go streams. Madden. Yeah, Madden got way too fucking complicated for me. Like as a woman, like I love trying to understand the game, and I felt like Madden was a great way for me to try and like understand concepts and play schemes and different types of offenses and defenses and lining up in different ways and looking, being able to kind of see things from the quarterback perspective, which, is difficult to do when you've never played a snap of tackle football. And I loved it for the like educational aspect, which sounds weird, but it's true. And then it just got way too complicated. Like I said, like I don't want to have to like tap a button 7 times or like there was just like weird like and like hitting the toggle and just like I was going through the tutorials and I'm like, what? It was just so complicated. Sorry, that was like a random rant.
Mad Dad
random.
says, haha, I thought I knew
Anyway,
football. It was a steep learning curve. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Those games, I mean,
it's
yeah. I just don't really play Madden too much anymore. Like, I used to. That's the thing. The games, they're just too similar year after year at this point for me that I'm just, like,
I hate mud mode. I hate mud mode. It's so stupid.
oh yeah, I don't. I played it for a while and then, yeah, just got tired of it. I've been hearing that AEW, I don't know if it's true or not, but AEW's been rumored to like that their video game is gonna have like a similar control scheme to the old N64 games, like no mercy.
Ooh,
And if they do that, that's a complete game changer because that gets back all the people like me that aren't playing the WWE games anymore. Like same with like the action figures and stuff. I'm so happy that AEW is doing the stuff they're doing. Like I've already pre-ordered the entire first series of their action figures. Like
really? Yes.
yeah, like I mean, I just like that they're putting this stuff. Their figures look great.
Yeah, they do look really good.
If they actually do this video game in a similar style to those N64, because I still have a working N64 in my living room, and I play those games.
Wow.
They're still better than the games now. It's wild. Um,
You know why? It's because they're not as complicated.
Yeah, they're not as complicated, but you can also still do like the majority of what you would want to anyways in those. Like it's not as interactive as like those other games, like where you like pick someone
Yeah.
up and you can like walk them to like the turnbuckle and do like a finisher like through the ropes to that like cinematic shit. But it's like I was marking out the other night. I was having a match on No Mercy the other night against the computer, and like it was such a good match, and like the finish,
Really?
like the match was good. It was like I finished playing it and I was like, this is still so much better than anything that's come out since. It's unreal how well those games hold up.
Oh my god, yeah, I know. I was playing I wanted to play like Crash Bandicoot. I was like, I
Yeah,
want to play Crash Bandicoot. And I wanted to play the first Jack and Daxter. Like and then I
yeah.
really what I've been craving, it sounds weird, but I've been really wanting to play is like Sims, Roller
Mm.
Coaster Tycoon, like old school Roller Coaster Tycoon. I want to play The Sims again, but I can't get into my fucking Origin. Like it won't let me, and every time it sends me a code, it says the code's wrong. Like, and then I went to support, and they were like, "Well, here, do this," and I did that, and nothing happened, and it was bullshit. And so I can't play The Sims. So I'm really mad about that. But like, this is like the perfect time to like release a video game. No one's
Yes.
doing shit.
Yeah. I've
But
purchased a lot of random. I purchased a game the other day. I played it for like hours and I haven't picked it up since. But like I played it for hours and I was just like, all right, I got to just stop doing this. It's called Untitled Goose Game. Straight up.
is that from Steam?
It's on. I don't know who made. I got it on the Nintendo Switch. I don't know what. I'll I'll play like a clip of this game just so people know what the fuck I'm talking about. But that's
I have a
where I'm
Switch,
at.
but I literally have zero time to play it. Like every time I want to like play a video game, my daughter like needs stuff. And then like every time I go to message people on OnlyFans, like something happens. Like it's just every time I go to like start messaging DMs, my daughter needs me or my husband needs me or I have to do something. I'm like, I have paying people that have messaged me. I have an obligation to message them. I literally lose sleep over it. Like, so all in all, I don't have time for video games. That's what I was trying to get at. Where's this Goose
Um,
game?
yeah, I didn't realize PewDiePie did like a playthrough on it. That's pretty funny.
Did he? Is this the one with the
That.
goose that has like a gun in his
First
hand?
candy to make something.
Or is that just a meme?
I don't know. I haven't played that far into this. Like I said, I played it for hours, but it was still like I barely even touched.
You need ad block, bro.
So anyway,
Yeah.
you'll have like a list of stuff you have to do in each area. So you like there's like this guy working in like there's it's so hard to explain, but you're basically trying to get him to do certain things. Like there's a like right now he's trying to get like the radio out of his hand.
It's like GTA for ducks. Or
Well, here we go. Like
geese.
he just did one of the missions. Let's see. Get into the garden. So he just crossed up it off the list. Getting into the garden. You can pick.
That looks so fun.
Yeah, you make him. You go into. I mean, it's just like stealing. This kid's got glasses, and you're trying to like get him to take his glasses off, and it's
Oh my God. Geese theft auto. Geese theft auto. That's what it is.
So-
GTA.
so yeah, that's where I'm at though. Like I want to play some games. I actually saw that they have Roller Coaster Tycoon on the Switch also. I've been thinking about getting that.
What?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah. And I think it's like the old,
Get my
it's like the
Switch out.
old school kind of version of the game, and I think it was only like $20 or something like that.
You just made my day. Oh my God. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm thinking about getting it because like I prefer to play with the keyboard and a mouse because that's how I used to play it on my keyboard. But I'd imagine they've made it pretty easy to do on the Switch. Like it's that system's
just worry.
pretty user friendly.
I just worry with my daughter because she would probably try and yank it out of my hands that it would break because the Switch is so like it looks like an iPad without a case and I'm like like I'm scared it's gonna crack.
Well, I just mount. It comes with a little mount for your TV. So I just put mine in
Yeah, I've seen that.
a little mount. And I bought well, it comes with a controller, so like you're good there. But I bought like they call it the Pro controller. It basically looks like an Xbox controller. So I just used that and put it up on my TV.
We have that. I think we have that. The little, yeah. No, I watched Angry Joe's review of it. Is what happened. Oh, I'm echoing again. Damn it.
Yeah, I hit the button. Hopefully it fixed it.
Okay, good. So yeah, I mean, maybe they'll make it Battlegrounds for like, oh my God, what if they did Battlegrounds and made it like Animal Crossing?
That'd be
Like,
insane.
you
I
can
didn't
do
get
a
into that,
village.
but
I have
know
never
everyone's playing
played a
that.
second of Animal Crossing, but I've seen enough of it to feel like I have.
Yeah, I know that's
Like I'm not on that
the
train.
game in the world right now.
I know. I feel like there's peer pressure
Peer pressure.
for me to get it.
Still play Fortnite every now and then. It's gotten increasingly more frustrating though because it's just at this point where like these and I will call them kids because most of them are much younger than me. I'm pretty sure that I'm playing against, and they just they build so quickly that like if it was a game where you could just like point and shoot and like hide and shoot and stuff, that's one thing. I'm pretty good at that kind of stuff. But what happens is like you start a battle with somebody and then they build like this gigantic fortress and get up above you and like by the time I even realize where these people are, I'm getting like sniped in the head from like up above and I can't even see them.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's
Sounds
no
fun.
fun. It's like little kids. It's kids that I mean, I'm not even kidding. It's like kids that are at home that
It is.
would normally be
So
at
true.
school. Yeah.
That's so funny. Yeah, I don't know. They should. I would say they should try and release it early, but then again, we saw what happened with like 2K20. So you're like, no, please take your time. Take your time. Get this game right. And like, I don't know. But it is like all these little kids have nothing to do. Their parents are losing their patience because there's no schedule. They don't have a schedule. Everyone's off. Everyone's whack. And yeah. Oh my goodness. Corey said his nephew has, ADD. And Fortnite outbursts are pretty bad, and he's only 10. Yeah, I feel like it's such like a big virtual world. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I mean
It's kind of crazy.
I'm almost 32, and like I've woken my neighbors up for sure with my outbursts on that game. So
Really?
I can only imagine a 10-year-old. Oh yeah, they're
That sounds horrible.
sometimes it's like it's so
Has to be frustrating.
see, one good thing about that, it's like good and bad. It'd make the game more fun, but like there's so many kids that play that like you wouldn't want to do it. But I wish they had the proximity chat. They used to have that in similar games where like I think H1Z1 had it where like you wouldn't have to know the player at all, but like if you got close enough to them, you could actually talk trash to whoever you were playing against. Halo used to have it too. So
Yeah.
and that used to be a lot of fun, but it also is like I've never heard the N word more in my life than the times than playing Halo. I'm not even kidding.
Oh no.
In my days of playing Halo 2 on Xbox Live, that was like all anyone yelled at each other. It was like
Oh
so I
my
could.
gosh.
Oh no, I'm serious. Like those of you who are in the
Oh
chat
yeah,
that played these games, you know what I'm talking about. Like this, it was like the people would just say the craziest shit that they could never get away with saying in real life on those proximity chats. Yeah, yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah,
So they don't do that
I
on Fortnite, which is understandable.
Yeah, there's too many young children. And be like, Mommy, I saw a
Yeah.
bunch of words that I was told I'm not allowed to say. What do you mean?
Yeah,
Oh my
especially
God,
when
that would be
like
crazy.
you're like ninja back when the game's blowing up. You can't be like running past people with 100,000 little kids watching your stream and people yelling stuff like that. And you're
Oh yeah, that's so true.
although he used to be that guy. Like when he used to play
I believe it.
H1 and stuff, like he used to cuss the hell out of people. But then like he blew up and a lot of little kids were watching his stream, so he kind of like cleaned that up. But at least did for a while. I think he's back to just doing whatever on Mixer now because he's down. His viewership is like so down right now because of that platform.
Is it really? He's kind of like, I haven't heard about him since like the Super Bowl when he went to the Super Bowl with Jeffree Star.
Okay, is that who he went with?
Yeah, him and Jeffree.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Very strange.
There's just way less people watching Mixer. Like just in general, like the platform just doesn't have nearly the type of viewership. So like for him to be getting
Twitch is like crap though. They treat their people like crap.
well, yeah, their terms of use and stuff is like they're
Freaking
very
Impact,
black
didn't
and
they
white.
get banned from Twitch for like showing like whipped cream titties or something?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can get banned from Twitch for a lot of stuff that like doesn't seem like that big of a deal. I mean, you can even get banned from Twitch for like if someone in your chat says something like threatening in like some way to someone else, like and you don't like moderate it correctly. I'm pretty sure you can like there's ramifications even for that. There's people who are like very controversial streamer, but this guy Ice Poseidon, he was like the biggest. He's the guy who basically created IRL streaming. Like he was he was getting so many views just out and about in the world, just being a fucking weirdo, but entertaining, an entertaining weirdo.
Like Dr. Disrespect?
Kind of. Dr. Disrespect's a character, but
Yeah.
but Ice Poseidon kind of is a character. But anyway, I don't want to give him too much praise here because he does a lot of really weird shit also. But like, he was huge on Twitch and he got swatted so many times that and like you can't do anything.
Wow.
Like people
No.
find out where you are and they send the police after you or whatever. And like Twitch was he got swatted on an airplane like a bomb threat and they were like, "You're done." So.
I'd be like, I'm done. Bye.
Oh yeah, well this guy went through. I mean, he brought a lot of it on himself, but a lot of it too.
Yeah.
His fan base is like, it's the most loyal fan base I've ever seen up until recently. A lot of people have like turned on him, but it's like I've never seen anything like it. These people, like, everywhere he would go, he'd just be live streaming. He wouldn't even give out his location. People just knew, like, kind of had an idea of where he would be, and he'd just be walking around, like, going to like a restaurant or something, and the next thing you know, that restaurant like has like, thousands of 0-star reviews on Yelp, and they're like freaking out, and like go find him in the restaurant. They're like, we're getting called
Oh my god.
and we're getting all of these negative reviews, and like his fans would just ruin everything he was doing. But he was making so much money doing it, like, because he was just getting all these donations, like, while he's out. It was wild.
Oh my god, it sounds like a nightmare. Oh
Yeah,
my god.
for most people
that
it would
sounds
be.
terrible.
But then he made so much money that he wound up, like, I don't know. It's a really long story that with that guy. But now he's back to, like, he's doing like Mixer streams and like YouTube and stuff occasionally, but doesn't have nearly the viewer. I mean, when he was on Twitch, it was like real what he was accomplishing. But
He needs to like live stream him reading the Bible. That's what he needs to do.
yeah,
It's like, whew, Lord
it's so
Jesus.
weird.
That is
It's crazy.
weird. That's
It's crazy.
weird. Anyways, woo.
How
So
about
yeah,
the-
Battlegrounds, whatever, is fine. It's a game.
It's a game.
It's a game. It's a game. I understand why people will be upset, but I also think people need to like take a step back and just remember it's a video game placeholder basically. Like, there'll be another 2K or whatever. There'll be a good game eventually. Just relax. And I don't know. And on that point, do you want to talk about? Did you watch Being the Elite?
I did. And by the way, I see some people are giving us thumbs down in the stream. I'm assuming that's probably because we're not really talking about much. Like, there's just not much to talk about. Like, we just want to hang out. So, yeah, I did. Did you watch it?
Not really.
It was
I watched
really
a little
good.
bit of it. Was it? I was kind of still emotional from BTE 200, so I was like, I didn't really, but I did see the end. Obviously, I saw the FTR in the sky, which was very interesting and completely obvious, I would think.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It was really strange. I can't even really explain it, but a lot of the episode was Luchasaurus, like tripping balls, basically. Like, it's like,
Oh my god, wait a minute. Was it inspired by, do you think it was like the Whitest Kids You Know dinosaur song?
I have no idea.
Oh, smoke
I
a
don't
joint tonight. Smoke a joint tonight. Me and all these dinosaurs are rolling bones tonight. That's a great song.
But it was this weird thing where, like, he calls,
Bless you, Mason.
huh?
My cat sneezed.
Oh. Yeah, he basically, he calls, PJ Black, who's like a doctor shaman now, I guess, and like, anyway, he gives Luchasaurus these little vials that are full of some sort of liquid, and he takes them, and then you just see this like total like weird trip that Luchasaurus goes on from like his perspective. It's pretty. There's some really funny stuff in it. I won't ruin it for anybody who watches it, but
Okay.
it was pretty funny. And then the FTR thing, that was like right at the end. They see that up in the sky.
They look up, yeah.
Which is interesting. I mean, I think we all pretty much knew that that's where they were heading, but I think this kind of like confirms it further.
Do you think they'll? Well, they don't have a no compete because they got released from their contracts, correct?
Yeah. To my knowledge, they don't have any kind of non-compete, but the timing might as well have been a non-compete because they're taped through a certain amount of time anyway, so like it wouldn't have. they can't really debut on AEW unless it's like a thing that they tape and like put into what they've already filmed. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think that do you think Double or Nothing is too soon, or do you think they'll wait until there's live crowds again to show up?
That's a good question. I don't know.
I
I hope they wait till a crowd, but we don't know when that's gonna be. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't either. So, I don't know. I just it's really interesting to see what happens, how it happens, when it happens, but I think that I wouldn't be surprised at all. I think that's where they belong, that's where they've wanted to go. Um, but why I guess, in this kind of instant gratification society, we see something like that and we instantly think, well, it's going to happen next week. We're going to get it next week. We're going to get it like as soon as possible. We are in such like an instant gratification like mode with like Amazon Prime. We can get things overnight. Like we want everything now. We want everything for the clout, the views, whatever, which is kind of like a deeper thing on society or whatever, but it's true. So like we all expect it like Double or Nothing. We expect it now. We expect everything then. It's like that's kind of like with WWE. It feels like they rush things because we want it now. But it's like I really don't mind like a slow build tease kind of thing. Like that was such a I mean, it wasn't super subtle. It was pretty damn obvious. Like they've done some like really subtle things before. Like when they called Matt Hardy and he didn't realize it was Matt Hardy. The area code that he was like 910, which is like North Carolina, which is also the same area code where I think Dash Wilder lives or Scott Dawson, one of them lives. So that was kind of an interesting tease too. But I don't think there's anything wrong with a super slow buildup of tension and excitement and speculation as long as the payoff is good. As long as we get a good payoff, I really don't see a problem with it.
Yeah, I agree. I just AEW's been doing pretty well with that kind of stuff as far as like even without any crowd, the debuts they've had have been solid, and they make sense. So we'll see. But to hear the crowd would be pretty awesome for the revival coming out, especially if they come out and just attack the Young Bucks like right off the bat. That would be
Yeah.
I think people would go nuts.
People would go, wow.
Raven Styles says, I think that's why Brian Cage hasn't debuted yet. I don't know if he's signed to AEW or not, but I think he's like Brian Cage is really talented, especially for like his size and stuff. So I think that it'd be interesting to see him in AEW, but he's very, very similar in presentation to Wardlow. So I'd be very interested to see how they.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean they could tag team him. That'd be pretty sick. But
You're like the big buff of Bella Twins. You can look, but you can't touch. Sorry, that was stupid.
Imagine
But it's
coming
true.
out to that.
Oh, that would be great. And that little butterfly hat
God.
and do the little hip thing.
Yes,
Yes,
the
word.
hip thing, back to back. Yeah, nice.
It would,
Um,
dude. Someone should do that in one of the 2K games. Make them characters, them and create a wrestler, and then put them in the Bella's entrance.
yeah, I remember people used to do that a lot with like the Undertaker and
Brock Lesnar.
like, oh yeah,
They had Brock Lesnar come out. Who was it? It was like AJ Lee. Is that her name?
yeah, CM Punk.
Yeah, with the skipping. Oh my god. I used to hate that damn skipping when she was I was like, I don't like the skipping.
Oh, I forgot
I
about
hated it.
that.
Or who was it? Maybe it was just Nikki Bella. I don't know. It was funny as fuck.
What else we got in here? If anybody has any questions, statements, comments that you want for sure read out, make sure to send a super chat. We'll make sure to get to those and dive deep on them.
Yeah.
We've missed a lot in the chat throughout this episode. And if you liked the episode, by the way, please give us a thumbs up because I see a close thumbs downs. And if you don't, I mean, if you don't enjoy the show, thumbs down is fine. Like at least it lets us know what to talk about,
Yeah.
But the thumbs ups help as far as like the YouTube algorithm and stuff like that.
I think the thumbs down help too.
I mean, I like the interaction. Like, and if you don't like it, you don't like. I mean, that's
Yeah, I'll take constructive criticism. Just don't be a fucking dick about it.
yeah, 100%. And I mean,
Yeah.
like I said before, there's just not it's not a ton to talk about at the moment when it comes to
There's not. We talked about,
articles.
yeah, we talked about Cain. We talked about, um, the Battlegrounds. There's really nothing big with, the being the elite. That's like a small tease. There's things going on that we can't talk about or shouldn't talk about, regarding some allegations. So we're not going to go into those. Um, Thank you, thumbs up. You guys are sweet. Like I said, we'll take criticism as long as you're respectful. Like don't be a fucking jerk. Um, but yeah, there really isn't much to talk about, is there? I mean, when is Money in the Bank even? Like,
I don't even know.
I don't even know. Like, it's
You
just
want
it
to talk
feels like all
about?
the
Or you say you want to talk about Apollo Crews? You said something about that earlier.
That's right. So last night, watching that, I was like, you know what? He's going to get injured. He's going to be taken out of the Money in the Bank because obviously he was walking on crutches. And freaking Charlie, he's struggling on these crutches to get 10 feet. He's going like 0.25 miles an hour on these crutches, struggling. And Charlie's just standing there. I'm like, Charlie, please walk forward to the injured man and discuss this with him instead of waiting for him to like slowly crutch his way to you. But yeah, it looks like he was taken out of the match via injury, and it looks like that was reported. So he's going to be taken out. So it's going to be interesting to see who will take his spot in the Money in the Bank.
Yes, JGZ, I did the Orange Cassidy thumbs up. I'm glad you caught that. Yeah, um,
I can't do it. You know me. Things are all
yeah, yours
weird.
goes the wrong way. I don't even know how
Yeah,
they do
I
it.
don't want to gross people out.
JGZ says, I hope Brock doesn't replace Apollo. I would say there's no way, but we remember what happened. I know what you're talking about when he came out and grabbed the briefcase. Was it two?
I'd rather have him. Yeah, that was last year, wasn't it?
Was that last
I'd
year?
rather have him replace someone in the match than just come out and take the briefcase when he wasn't even in the match.
True.
Oh, it could be Andrade, but he's the U.S. champ, right?
The Apollo thing is strange because like they're like
It's so random.
well they randomly decided to push him like because he was getting buried up to this point for the most part
Yeah.
or just wasn't used at all.
Just non-existent. Yeah.
And then they put him in the Money in the Bank match. They had him win over MVP to get in, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
So, and then they like really tried to play up, and this is weird. Like they really tried to play up this whole Apollo Crews was just about to win the U.S. title. Like, well, he almost did it. Like as if, I mean, let's be real, as if winning the U.S. title like really does anything for you at this point. Like for anybody. Like it's
It did for John Cena with the Open Challenge. That was freaking great.
yeah, but since then, like it's this is what it is. Like,
Lackluster.
I mean, I think the U.S. title's cool. Like, it has a cool lineage and stuff. And like, I mean, I would want to win it if I was a WWE superstar. Like, that'd be cool to hold the belt. But like, being the U.S. champion doesn't guarantee you really anything. I mean, like Apollo Crew or like Ricochet won the U.S. title for like a couple weeks. Then like
Yeah.
weeks later, he's getting beat by Riddick Moss clean and stuff. It's like.
Right.
So it just kind of is what it is. But they here's something. So like this might come off as like I don't know how this is gonna come off. But when I'm watching professional wrestling, I like the stories and the drama of it and all that stuff. But I don't want to see a grown man crying after he lost a match. Like I don't.
Yeah.
No, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I don't like Apollo Crews more now after seeing him backstage crying after losing to Andrade. It's like I want him to be like angry about it. Like be back there like
Yeah. You want to be
guy's
pissed,
ass. Yeah.
right?
and he's back there crying. Like I get that it's like this big defeat, but like, how do you come back from that? Unless he just goes on this like insane winning streak, and it's like triggered by him losing this one match where it's like that was the straw that broke the camel's back, and now he like just goes on like some crazy streak or something, which I don't
Yeah.
think happen. But otherwise, I don't know why you have the guy. Like I'm an emotional guy. Like I'm not saying like crying is wrong, but I'm saying like I would have much rather seen him angry about it than crying backstage about it.
Right. I agree with that. Like, for one, it's weird that a match that was scheduled ahead of time, like, has already been filmed and already taken place. Like, Apollo Crews is just, like, taken out of it. Like, it's kind of weird. It just seems strange. I mean, obviously, we'll have to wait till Money in the Bank to see if it's all made sense or if it's worth it, which it could very well be. Um, but, like, you're right. Like, whenever I'm watching a sporting event, and there's like a big upset or like there's like a last minute heartbreak and they cut to the fucking crying fans, like the crying little kids. I hate that. I hate when they show that. I hate when they show people like super emotionally upset. And if I'm like a wrestler and I'm crying over a match that I lost, like it just kind of I appreciate the passion and the emotion that it's trying to convey, but at the same time I don't feel like that's an emotion that I would, if I'm thinking realistically, which stupid me for trying to think realistically about professional wrestling, but if I'm thinking realistically, it's like I feel like they should be more angry. And I'm not shooting all over anybody, but I'm just saying it just seems weird to be crying. Maybe he was crying because he was hurt. Maybe he got some really bad news from the trainer. I don't know. But it was weird. I like to see someone, especially like Apollo Crews. Apollo Crews to me seems like someone who is very extremely motivated. I really like him. I think he's great. I think he's incredibly talented. Having him cry like that made it seem weak. It felt weak. I don't know. Like, and I just feel like he's beyond that. He's stronger than that. I feel like Apollo Crews is the type of person to take a loss like that and be like, all right, I'm going to chalk this up. I'm going to go watch some film and I'm going to learn from it. I'm going to become better. I'm not going to sit and cry about it. I'm going to go back. I'm going to go look at it. I'm going to become better. I'm going to train. I've learned my lesson and now it's time to become better. Like, that's how I feel he would have handled it. I don't know. It's an emotional time. We're all,
True.
our emotions are out of whack. But I don't know. You're right. It was very strange.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
I don't know.
I do like the stable with Andrade and
Dude, her
and
freaking
Austin Theory.
heels. Her high heels were so awesome. It reminded me of that meme where the guy is walking in like cups. He's got like cups on his feet and he slips and falls. But someone in the chat, Jay Jeezy, mentioned the slap. Did you hear that slap?
I somehow must have missed that.
You missed Apollo Crews slapping the soul out of Andrade?
Yeah, I wasn't looking, I guess.
Oh my God, go find it. It's on my YouTube. No, it's not. It's not on my YouTube. Jesus. Oh my God. You've got to, Lord Jesus. Like, he slapped him into another dimension. Like, I think Andrade saw God. Like, it was unreal. Apollo Crews slap. It's like trending. Let's see. Oh, it's getting copyright striked on Twitter. You gotta be careful, y'all. Ooh, here it is. This person's at is kind of funny. Okay, I just tagged you in it. You've got to go see this. Like, you got to listen to it, dude.
Let me see here. Just waiting for the show. I got a notification on my phone, but not on my computer for some reason.
Justice.
I'm just gonna jump on yours. Here we go.
Oh, I just tagged you in it.
There we go. Alright, so let's take a look here. Should we put the volume on?
Serve.
Yes.
Hey, how about now?
Ooh!
You want some of this?
Hold on.
You
Let's do that again.
serve.
Yes. You gotta hear it.
Hey, how about now? You want some of this?
Hold on. I want to see this one more time.
Serve.
Because
This opportunity. Hey, how about now? You want some
yeah, that looked pretty legit. I couldn't tell if he's hitting himself in the thigh or
I think he is. Let me try and look at
oh,
it.
maybe not. I don't know. That looks pretty good. That looked pretty good. That sounds
He hit something. Just because you can see his left bicep jiggle like hell. I think he slapped. I don't know, but my God, it was unreal. Like that was the best part of the whole show.
oh, man. Well, hopefully they do something with
There it is.
that.
Yeah.
I'm still for the idea. I know I said it like weeks ago. I'm still for the idea of all of them joining Seth Rollins, like that whole stable.
That would be a good idea. Did you
He
see
needs
Buddy
more
Murphy came
followers.
back at the end and gave him a hug?
Yeah, and then he like sacrificed him to the Claymore kick, which I thought was good.
I thought that was almost a botch. I was worried that, I don't know, it looked bad. Like, it looks like that Claymore kick was going to go somewhere it wasn't supposed to. Like, it scared me.
I think they pulled it off perfect.
Yeah, they.
It'll be interesting though, because like you have Murphy, but the AOP's out. At least one of them's injured, and they probably won't use the other while
Yeah.
hurt. So
I'm surprised. Well, because they can't release them if they're. But I hope that they come back because I feel like every time they return, someone gets hurt, and it's just such a damn shame because they're such a good tag team, and we've talked about that before. But yeah.
it's gonna be interesting though. They have that. I don't even know the names, but the tag team that Stokely Hathaway is managing in NXT look real similar.
Really?
Yeah, like in a
Oh
good
yeah,
way.
yeah, in a good way.
But in like a scary way if I'm AOP.
Yeah. Well, they needed Paul Ellering. Like I don't know why he just was like bye.
Yeah, we talked about that before.
Yeah, we
It's
did.
like a huge mystery as to like what actually happened there because it didn't make any sense. Like,
No sense.
what's Raven Styles talking about in PWG? Holy crap! It's like Willie Mack out, Roderick Strong. I don't know what that means with one drop.
Get out Roderick Strong.
I don't know. I'd have to see what he's talking about. But I am a big Willie Mack fan and Roderick Strong as well. But it was good to see Willie Mack win the X Division Championship recently. That was cool.
Yeah. I'm gonna go get Scarlett because she's at the door.
We get Scarlett on stream before we get out of here. If anybody has any kind of like last minute questions, statements, comments, anything like that, now's the time. If you want to send a super chat, we will make sure to dive deep in all that stuff. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. That way, you'll be notified when we go live because we do these so randomly. At least you'll get some sort of heads up on YouTube beforehand. And also, please make sure to give us a thumbs up because it does help us out. And it's totally free, obviously, to leave a like on the video. So it'd be much appreciated. But like I said, just let us know. There's Scarlett. She just disappeared. That was pretty funny.
Oh no! Come up here.
Her head's like
Hold
coming
on,
in and
put her
out.
shoes on. I'll put her shoes on in a second. We the ice cream truck is gonna come by today, so we're really excited.
Ooh.
Watch yourself. Oh, there you go.
What's happening? Look at me.
Look at that. Are you the commissioner of the NFL? Are you the commissioner of the NFL?
Hi.
Hey.
Sorry, that was my phone. Okay, you wanna go get some ice cream? Oh my god, put her shoes back on. Here, get your shoes on.
Raven says send a link on Twitter. Yeah, definitely send me a link for that. I want to see that slap you're talking about. Julian says previews for Dynamite. Who do you think will go on to the finals? I called from the beginning of the tournament that it will be Lance Archer and Cody finals, and I think Lance Archer is going to beat him to become the first TNT champion. Although personally, I'd love to see Cody do it, but I think it would help Archer out a lot to win that title and be in the finals. the most sense too because they were like since Archer's come in, him and Jake the Snake have basically been targeting Cody, and Cody's been saying like he hasn't done enough in AEW to really earn a match with me because of like my record and everything in the company. This puts them in a match that makes sense, and he would have had to beat multiple people to get there and stuff. So that's my prediction. I think Jessi, I think you had the same prediction of them.
Yeah, I did. I did for sure. I think that's kind of where they're going at. I feel like they, debut Lance Archer as this like it just makes sense. It wouldn't make sense for him to lose, especially after debuting as like this guy that went in this ring and all these people like swarmed him and he just went off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it just wouldn't make sense. It just feels like the logical conclusion. Wow, now how Cody loses, whether that's by his own hand or by perhaps an MJF or someone else, like with shenanigans, you never know. I don't see it being just a complete clean win. I feel like it has to make Cody look good too. There has to be, because Cody obviously has been banned from fighting for the AEW championship or whatever. I don't know if that was just Jericho, but I'm not sure. I feel like Lance Archer should be the one to be the inaugural TNT champion. TNT champion.
I hope that I can't remember, Archer's finisher is like the reverse outsider's edge, isn't it?
What is that thing called?
But I hope he hits that after Jake the Snake hits a DDT on Cody. I think that'd be awesome.
That would be epic.
That would be so cool to see Jake hit a DDT in the middle of the ring, like after all that dude has been through, like mentally and physically. Really cool to see him in there and do something like that.
Texas Tower Bomb, is that what it is?
I guess it's like an outsider's edge, but they facing the same direction. It's almost like the one-winged angel.
Yeah. I'm looking. Finishing moves. He's got a Final Days Dark Days snap inverted DDT. Fireman's Carry Facebusters, a Texas Tornado, Iron Claw Hold, EBD Claw, Blackout. Yeah, I'm trying to look. Signature moves, Big Boot, Choke Slams, a Railer.
Raven Style is saying iconoclasm. Is that?
Yeah, okay, so that's the Blackout, the kneeling iconoclasm. It's called a Blackout.
Gotcha. But yeah, I could totally see. Someone in here, Raven was saying, they want to see Dustin win it. I don't see that happening, but like that'd be really interesting.
Cody versus Dustin again, and we talked about how that might be too soon to redo that feud. It's been less than a year. It'll have been a year at Double or Nothing.
Yeah, if I was them, I would never run that match back. I don't think I could.
That reminds me, I just had a weird ass dream last night. I just remembered it because of that. Sorry, that's weird. Awkward. Yeah, sorry, it's just a really weird dream.
Julian, thank you for the kind words, and thank you for joining us on the stream today.
It is the Blackout.
And thanks to everyone for joining today. Jess, do you have anything else that you want to talk about before I talk about our sponsors?
No, not really.
Yeah, so while I'm talking about these sponsors, once again, if you send a super chat, we will make sure to get to that before we go off stream. As far as our sponsors go, I'll start off with WrestleRumble.com. Let me get their website pulled up here. WrestleRumble.com, best fantasy pick'em contest for professional wrestling. They have a classic tag team championship belt raffle coming soon. It will be $10 per entry, as you can see there, and the drawing is going to be live on May 10th after Money in the Bank. So jump on there and potentially win an incredible title belt, courtesy of WrestleRumble.com. Be sure to follow them on Twitter at WrestleRumble to stay up to date with all their contests. Also, shout out to Heroes and Legends. They're a professional wrestling memorabilia company, specialized in action figures, DVDs, autographs, all that good stuff. Make sure to follow them on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at HL Pro Wrestling. And shout out to my brother Brian Jensen. He is a boxing coach, personal trainer, can help you reach your goals. I'm going to get his Instagram pulled up here so you can see it. This is him the other day. So this is so small, but this
I
is
saw
out
that on
him.
Instagram.
This is him out in a field. Like so, like if you're in the Atlanta, Georgia area and you you can't go indoors or you don't want to go inside of a gym or like whatever it is, you want some fresh air even, he'll meet you outside. You can do some training there.
Cash me outside.
Catch him outside. I went to his gym yesterday. He's letting people kind of in and out one at a time kind of thing. So if you're in the Atlanta, Georgia area, hit him up. And if you're not, he can help you remotely through his webcam, which you can see here with his Parkinson's class. So he'll pitch you up on a webcam. He'll help you reach your goals. So once again, it's Brian Jensen. Hit him up on Instagram at BoxingATL. It's BoxingATL. And yeah, he'll get you where you want to be with all that good stuff. And Jessi, what do you have before we get out of here?
What?
I was asking what plug your stuff.
Okay, hold on. Okay. You can find me on Twitter at Jessi the Buckeye. JESSITHEBUCKEYE. I also do have an OnlyFans if you would love to chat with me or get some pretty cool content from me. My OnlyFans is the best way to do that. I work really hard and make sure I try and answer everyone's messages as swiftly as I can. I really do try and give every single person the attention that I feel that they deserve for subscribing. So it's onlyfans.com/Jessi the Buckeye, JESSITHEBUCKEYE. I do also have a Papa John's discount code. It's JESSI25 for 25% off your full price online order. Wow. And this is my YouTube channel. This is basically we've invaded it. Your turn. So please like and subscribe. Wait, what do you have to promote? Go ahead, promote your stuff.
Hello.
How can we reach you? Do you have a YouTube channel? What is it?
I have trying to show you guys on my YouTube channel, but it's gonna be good. So it's gonna be there, and like and subscribe and buy my game. But if you don't like my other one, you can do it.
Okay, so.
And everybody can see my butt.
No, sweetie. Don't say that.
See my head poop.
No.
What should they do, Scarlett, for our YouTube channel?
What should they do for our YouTube channel, Scarlett?
Play my game.
And what's that?
And then I don't like it, thumbs down.
Thumbs up.
There you go.
We need
And if
thumbs
you don't
up.
like it, thumbs down. Yeah, can you do thumbs up? Thumbs up. No. Other way. Other way. No. Yeah. She's one of the thumbs down for sure.
And they can subscribe also. If they subscribe, that helps too.
You say like and subscribe.
Like in some poop.
Like and subscribe. There you go.
Yep. So, yeah. I'm such a good parent. Hey, stop. Do not use my setting powder. Stop it. Anyways. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you to everyone for watching.
That's mine.
That's yours? Okay. You can have it. I don't care.
Yeah. Thanks everyone for watching. We appreciate it.
Yes.
Don't know when we'll be back next. We're trying to do like 2 or 3 days kind of thing. So we'll see. If there's any big wrestling news between now and then, we'll try to go live kind of like on a whim. But we just don't really know. It just depends on kind of what's going on in both of our lives as well as what's going on in the world around. But Like Charlotte was saying, like we've been saying, if you're subscribed to the channel, if you're following us on Twitter, you should always know when we're going live because we make sure to post links on Twitter. We make sure to, and you'll get the notification on YouTube if you're subscribed. So that's all I've got.
That's all right.
Else?
Nope, that's it. Everyone be well, be safe, be happy. I hope you all are well, and thank you again. I'm super grateful for everyone. Thank you so much.
Yes, I'm grateful as well. Thank you all for joining us, and we will see you on the next stream.